Guys, this is our third video about this book, Truth Without Apology. So, in previous video, we have done 12 chapter. Not 12 chapter, I guess 11th chapter. So, today we are going to read the 12th chapter, and let's see how much we'll be able to read today. So, in this chapter, 12, no belief is a scared. There is a quotations. Spirituality is a hard, unrelenting inquiry. It is a philosophy with the purpose of liberations. It is not a belief system. Rare is the patient who openly declares, I don't want the medicines, I love my disease. At least he is honest in his madness. Much more common and dangerous is the one who admits he is sick and then picks up false medicines with a knowing smile. He pretends to be healing but is only burning the disease deeper. Such a man is not just sick, he is a cunning, and his disease is now armed with the deception. This is the condition of most seekers today. Spiritually diseased and deeply dishonest. Be fearlessly, unflinchingly alert against false spirituality. It wears holy robes. It chants verses, it peddles peace and promises paradise, and yet it isn't just ego dressed up in the clothes of the scared. Watch out for the world. Believe it is not harmless, it is a trap. The moment you hear yourself say, I believe that, pause, ask, why do I believe this? Have I seen it? Or have I borrowed it out of fear? Two hoods to beliefs, your or mine. Beliefs are the wallpaper over the cracked walls of the mind. Everyone is entitled to their beliefs. This is a socially acceptable lies, legally sound but existentially useless. Every fool has beliefs, but truth, that is another beast altogether. Beliefs are not truth, they are a psychological bandage. They protect the fragile, insecure self. They secure the ego's they keep you asleep comfortably and entirely. So observe when you speak with supreme confidence, when you declare this is how the world is, this is how things work. Stop ask why am I so desperate to being right? What am I afraid of losing? Most likely you are clinging to a narrative that safeguard your self-image. Anytime you hold on to something without thoroughly examining it, feel that as an alarm, a bell ringing in the depth of your being. You are the witnessing a inner fall play. Truth does not ask for belief, it asks for burning inquiry. It demands the death of a falsehood, not the decorations of it. Remember, all belief is in service of the ego, and real spirituality begins only when beliefs end. Wow, this is the chapter 13. Grow. Don't just glow. Here is a quotation. You are your most important asset. Invest wisely and keep checking the returns. How much should you spend on yourself? As much as it takes to extract the highest value from yourself, for yourself, not for display, not for validations, but for real inner growth. Sometimes you must spend on the car, fuel, service, alignment. These are not indulgence, they are initially. Without them, the car fails. You needed to take yourself to your destinations, so you invest invest in its upkeep. But there is another kind of spending endlessly decorating the car with a trinkets. We jeweled dashboards, diamonds, stud headlights, platinum door handles, and in the process, the fellow sold the tires to buy the platinum knobs. Now the car looks royal but doesn't move. That is the story of most lives. We squander what truly matters: time, energy, attention to acquire signing nonsense. We invest in appearance, not essence. We polish the cell while the engage rusts. You are you you are your most important assets. So ask yourself: are you investing in movement or in decorations? Are you growing or just glowing? This is the chapter 14. Stop defending your weakness. Nobody lacks strength. We merely agree to act weak for the sake of certain comforts. Strength lies in seeing that selling your s- spine is always a bad bargain. Strength is your nature. It does not need to be earned. Sounds comforting. Here is the uh, here is the caveat: strength need not be earned, but weakness must be dropped. Must be dropped. If you have managed to stay so fragile and brittle for so long, it is only because you keep defending your weakness. Look at us. We argue for our weakness. We decorate them, rationalize them, polish them into virtues. Are we honest with ourselves? We stand behind our frailty, and so it thrives. Why would the weak self improve if you keep accommodating it? The weak self deserves a certain distance. In this age of self love slogans, it may be unfashionable to say so, but there must be a gentle disguise disgust toward the repeated display of a needless infirmity. There must be a limit to glorify feebleness as just being a human. Will we ever grow a spine if we remain content with crawling, crawling? This is the chapter 15. Improvement is not a strategy. There is a quotation: genuine self improvement begins when you stop lying to yourself. See your condition as it is and let change arise on its own. Self improvement and self deceptions cannot coexist. If you can't admit your inner mess, how can anything improve? How can clarity arise in a space filled with a denial? You don't always need to announce to it to the world. If you don't need to wear your wounds publicly, but you must confess it to yourself. You must see without distortions where you actually stand. That silent acknowledgement is itself transformative. It breaks the illusions, it opens the door. When there is a clarity, change happens effortlessly, not because you force it, but because the false begins to fall away on its own. And remember, real transformation is not aimed at some pre-decided result. It is not for fulfilling and all the desire. It is not a strategy for success or happiness. It has no fixed goal. It is the spontaneous, unpredictable flowering of self awareness One simply says, I must be free of this inner mess, whatever the cost. No bargaining, no conditions, just a clean, honest resolve. That's where real change began. This is the chapter 16. Let the pity go. If your self-worth depends on anything, life will play with it like a puppet on strings. True freedom begins when you stop measuring yourself by external yardsticks. Let your situations, circumstances, positions, and particular destinations in life not become as significant enough to define you. Let your self worth not be dedicated by anything external, since everything external is fleeting. The only true freedom is to let go of the very concept of self worth altogether. If you hold on to a concept of self worth, it will inevitably depend on something else because concepts by nature rely on other concepts. When that something changes, your sense of self worth will shift as well. You become a victim to the vicissitudes of life. When life lifts you up, you feel elevated. When it puts you down, you feel diminished. All this is no fun. It is a great freedom to be relieved from carrying sense of self-worth depending on the world. So this is the chapter 17, and this chapter 17, behind your back something is a ticky. Don't ask how to manage time. Ask how to manage yourself. Your time profile is nothing but a mirror showing you your mental profile, your actual values and prioritizings. Look closely at how you uses your hours and minutes. They reveal what you truly hold dear. You understand the value of time. When you're catching a flight or a train, a missed train doesn't return. When someone dies, it hits you. That time, isn't it? Internal. It's a fragile, evaporating by the second. Yet, strangely, you see yourself as the exceptions. Everything else may vanish, but not you. The train will leave, the flights will take off, the deadlines will pass, but you amazing, you will remain standing forever. As if morality doesn't apply to you, that illusion of personal timelessness is your fundamental error. You might be young today, maybe 25, maybe 35, but if life were just 3 days ago, days long, one full day is all.